A Scotland County woman has been missing for days.
And drone technology helps find a missing teen.
Plus, the student loan forgiveness program goes before the Supreme Court. I'm Madison Schwinneker.
And I'm Andrew Thrift. These stories and more coming up on Carolina News Today.
A 7-year-old Scotland County woman has been missing since Friday. Brenda Covington went missing after she went walking on Highland Road. Over the weekend, the search extended in a 5-mile radius from the intersection of Highland and Harry Malloy Road. According to the Scotland County Sheriff's Office, Covington suffers from memory problems and was probably heading towards Produce Market Park. Officials now say they're focusing their search in the North Laurinburg area and the northern side of US 74. Anyone with information is asked to call the Scotland County Sheriff's Office at 910-276-3385 or dial 911.
A missing teenager was rescued from a heavily wooded area thanks to teamwork and technology. First responders from Tennessee used their drone to locate the teen in Cherokee County, North Carolina. Dallas Payton of WRCB reports.
On Monday afternoon, Hiwassee Dam and Wolf Creek Fire Department were notified of a missing teen. Wolf Creek Fire Chief Eric Curtis says the two crews and a number of others set up shop at a command post near the scene and started their search.
We were trying to search the harder to get to areas before dark because there was a lot of real dangerous waterfalls and stuff. We were wanting them to search around those waterfalls before it got dark. And the ground crews done all that, cleared all those places. We cleared a lot of vacant homes, summer, vacation homes. We cleared all of those.
Curtis says he then made the decision to have West Polk Fire and Rescue come up and fly their drones to cover more ground. To put more eyes in the sky, Patrick Kellum and another drone pilot with Hamilton County Emergency Management Services drove up to North Carolina to assist. After flying around the heavily wooded area for nearly 2 hours, Kellum says they came up with nothing, but decided to give it one more try.
From the last flight of the night, I was looking at the weather. We had about 30 minutes before we got some pretty serious rains, and I just flew out and was able to spot a thermal signature. And as we approached the thermal signature, it seemed like it was in the shape of a human being.
What Kellum spotted turned out to be the missing teen. Ground crews were then directed to where the teen was at and helped bring him home safe.
It certainly makes what would take hundreds and hundreds of personnel and manpower, it makes that a lot easier. It gives us the ability to access areas that are not accessible by foot and very difficult terrain and far away off roadways and things like that, and the thermal imaging is just incredible. It makes looking for a needle in a haystack a lot more possible than it ever has been.
A drone helped find some other teens in North Carolina Friday, but they were allegedly up to no good. After reports of someone throwing rocks off a bridge at the Highway 74 bypass in Monroe, deputies found a semi-truck and trailer that had been struck and damaged by one of the rocks. They then launched a drone with infrared technology to search the area. 2 juvenile suspects were caught before a perimeter was set up and 3 more were captured. The suspects range from 13 to 15 years old. They now all face criminal charges.
A student at a high school in Indian Trail near Charlotte captured a photo of a classmate flying a Confederate flag in the school parking lot last week. Cam Gaskin of WB-TV says parents have expressed their dismay.
We just want to make sure that our children are safe. Nobody wants to go to school and feel unsafe. I'm not even at the school, and it makes me feel unsafe.
That's one reaction Thursday night from a concerned parent after she said she saw this Confederate flag flying in the Porter Ridge parking lot hours earlier on top of a student's car. Her child will be a freshman next year, and seeing it at a school that should be accepting to all students hit her hard.
To have, my child go to school and have to pull into a parking lot, and that's the first thing that he sees when he's going to just get an education, that really made me cry this morning.
She added that the flag itself isn't the primary issue, rather what it represents for a large group of people that becomes the biggest concern.
Some use it as a symbol of heritage. That's their right, that's their choice, I guess, freedom of speech, but it also creates a lot of fear in people.
We also spoke with the mother of the student who took these photos. She said it was disheartening to see something like this happen where her daughter currently goes to school.
I honestly don't think it will ever end because it goes on everywhere. But where my child attends school, I wish it did not go on.
Thursday night, a Union County school spokesperson provided this statement to WBTV News, saying, quote, "When Porter Ridge High School administrators were made aware of the flags, they responded immediately and spoke to the students involved. Following the conversation, the students removed the Confederate flags. The flags did not cause a disruption, and there were no safety concerns."
I would hope that the children that are involved in this are just ignorant to the fact of what that really means to another race.
So now it's removed, but the image it left behind is harder to forget.
We're supposed to be living in the land of the free. I don't feel that way when I see that flag.
The Union County Schools spokesman said there are no school policies against flying flags on school property, so these students did not break any rules and were not subject to any disciplinary actions.
In-state undergraduate tuition will remain frozen across the UNC system in the coming school year. This will be the 7th year the rates remain flat for in-state undergraduates. In-state students will also continue to benefit from NC Promise, the $500 per semester tuition program at Pembroke, as well as Elizabeth City State, Fayetteville State, and Western Carolina University. Fayetteville State joined NC Promise in August and has seen record enrollment this year, probably because they also now offer free tuition to military-connected students.
The Supreme Court is set to hear arguments on President Joe Biden's student loan forgiveness program today. The plan, which cancels up to $20,000 of student debt for each borrower who qualifies, has been on hold as it makes its way through the courts. 2 cases are in front of the justices. In one of them, 6 Republican-led states say they would be harmed financially if the program goes into effect. The others involve 2 borrowers in Texas who don't fully qualify for debt forgiveness. Plaintiffs in both cases argue the government doesn't have the authority to cancel loan debt under the proposed rules of the program, but the Biden administration argues that a 2003 law gives them that power in the event of a national emergency, including the COVID-19 pandemic.
North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper has announced nearly $463 million in funding for infrastructure projects to strengthen water systems in 80 communities. Typically, the state spends half that much per year to upgrade systems for drinking water and wastewater. But thanks to the federal funds from the American Rescue Plan and bipartisan infrastructure law, North Carolina plans to spend $2 billion over 2 years. Some projects will also improve stormwater systems. In our area, Cumberland County will receive $15 million to extend water lines to more than 1,000 residents and 2 elementary schools in a region contaminated by the chemical Gen X.
An elected official takes on Disney and wins.
And a Tennessee community rallies against controversial laws targeting sexuality and gender.
We'll be right back after this message.
A 17-year-old Florida student is accused of brutally attacking a teacher's aide who had taken away his Nintendo Switch. The alleged attacker now faces felony aggravated battery charges.
Quite frankly, it was shocking.
Investigators say when a teacher's aide at Matanzas High School took a 17-year-old ESE student's video game away, he chased after her into the hallway and, according to the report, pushed the victim so hard it took her off her feet in the air 5 to 6 feet, knocking her unconscious.
This could have been homicide. When you push people down like that, they hit their head. You never know the outcome.
Am I going to jail?
Yes, you are.
For how long?
I do not know. I don't make that determination.
The 17-year-old, seen here with campus resource deputies, allegedly continued his assault as the teacher's aide lay helpless on the ground. Investigators say surveillance shows the student kicking her, then getting on top of her and punched her in the body and back of the head approximately 15 times.
He's 6'7", 270 pounds, and he's in high school. Okay, that's a big kid.
You gonna be cool with Deputy King and I?
I don't want to go to jail.
Well, look at me. Look at me.
I have more important places to be.
I understand.
The sheriff says Matanzas has 2 SRDs at the high school, but it's a big campus, so it took them several minutes to arrive.
Fortunately, other students and other faculty members, administrators came and intervened.
The students charged with felony aggravated battery and, of course, will be subject of school discipline, including possible expulsion. As first responders tended to the victim, the 17-year-old detained and being walked away, according to the report, he started to spit towards the victim and said when he comes back, he's going to kill her.
Nadich was taken to the hospital. Flagler County Schools said that out of respect for her privacy, it would not comment on her medical condition at this time.
State lawmakers in Tennessee have passed a bill to ban gender-affirming medical treatment for minors, sparking protests. They also passed a bill to categorize drag shows the same as topless bars and strip clubs. Jack Billiou of WHBQ filed this report from Memphis.
When our communities are under attack, what do? Stand up, fight back!
We have seen conservative extremism, an obsession with restricting bodily autonomy, infiltrating all parts of political engines in this country.
Molly Quinn, executive director of the LGBTQ advocacy group Out Memphis, says representatives from many local organizations took part in the rally. She was pleased to see so many people show support, especially considering the rain.
The fact that people are willing to stand in, total crap weather and a freezing Friday night speaks to the pulse of the community right now. We want to be together. People want to be seen.
One of the bills that went to the governor's desk would classify drag shows as adult cabaret performances and ban the shows from taking place within 1,000 feet of schools, public parks, or places of worship. The bill's sponsor in the House says the drag bill's aimed at protecting children from adult content.
Anyone that would stand against a bill that is going to prevent minors, children, from seeing obscene sexual activity, I don't know how you claim to be representing anyone.
But drag performers who spoke at the rally say their shows aren't obscene. Rather, they're an art form and a means of expression.
Our community is beautiful and very diverse, and I think these legislators haven't taken even just a second to get to know any of us because they don't want to.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has just checked off a major political win. The Republican governor signed a bill into law Monday giving him new power over Walt Disney World. The law is essentially a state takeover of the Reedy Creek Improvement District. That's the special governing and taxing body that was in place for more than 50 years for the Disney World Resort in Central Florida. The new law allows DeSantis to handpick the 5 new members on the board. It also restricts the resort's use of eminent domain and removes powers that could have allowed Disney to build its own airport. The move has largely been seen as a way to punish Disney for speaking out against DeSantis' political agenda. The resort's president says the company is ready to work within this new framework.
Facebook owner Meta is backing a tool aimed to reduce revenge porn on its platforms. It's called Take It Down and works like this. Users have to download special software that can anonymously add a, quote, digital fingerprint to photos. It's a unique number, not an actual fingerprint. Meta will then maintain a database of those digital fingerprints, but not the photos themselves. If a photo with the same fingerprint ever posts to Facebook or Instagram, the company will be alerted and can review the photo. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, which operates Take It Down, says it has received more than 250,000 reports of online enticement since 2016. In the last year, nearly 80% of those cases involve someone seeking money to keep an image off social media.
Sometimes when you're out and about alone, you want to make sure a loved one knows where you are. That's the thought behind a new app called Safe Alone. Reporter Cora Dickey explains how it works and why the creator felt like it was necessary.
Safe Alone is an app made to help. Stanton native Ryan Proffitt got the idea from his photographer wife meeting strangers in remote places for work.
There's a way to track our friends, location services, or messaging to where you know that they're safe, and if they don't respond to the message in the app, you get a notification that something's not right.
The app sets a timer when a person goes into alert mode and notifies selected friends who can also track the location.
So you have a friend list, and then they will get notifications that you're in alert mode for whatever reason. You can put the details of it, whether you're meeting a stranger, going for a jog.
Users must enter a PIN created before the timer expires, otherwise friends will be notified of any discrepancies. Proffitt ran the idea across a software engineer from JMU to bring Safe Alone to life. He says the app was inspired to prevent dangers of the present day.
I just thought there has to be a better way. It could save a life potentially, or multiple lives. Anybody can download it. I think it would be perfect for single women maybe who like to go out on the town, or for parents who want to track their children who stay after school for sports, anything like that.
Users can select a PIN, choose which friends to notify, and how frequently they want to be checked on.
In Virginia, a cat that was missing for 9 years is now back with her owner. The owner says she spent years trying to find Piper after she escaped, but there was no trace of her. The owner eventually marked Piper as deceased with a microchip company. However, Henrico County animal officials say a resident called Tuesday about a stray cat that wouldn't leave their porch. Once the cat was at a shelter, rescuers found the microchip and started doing some investigating. They were able to reach the owner with the great news.
The postseason heats up for multiple Braves athletes.
And a wrestler in Maine makes state history.
Mihaela Trace catches you up with what's been going on, but first, here's NCDOT Now.
Hey everyone, I'm Jonathan Rand for NCDOT Now. State officials are urging safety around railroad tracks. The North Carolina Department of Transportation is reminding people to stay off railroad property for your own safety. NCDOT's Rail Division urges people to follow these helpful tips. Pedestrians should always cross the railroad at safe, legal crossings such as bridges, underpasses, and railroad crossings with signage. Never walk or jog on railroad property or along a railroad track. And never stop your vehicle on railroad tracks at a crossing. For more important rail safety information, visit berailsafe.org. As we come to the end of Black History Month, we here at the department continue to celebrate by speaking with staff who contribute to our diverse transportation family. We've also shared and featured these members and their stories on our social media platforms. For more information and to check out all of our features, search NCDOT on all social media channels. The North Carolina Department of Motor Vehicles is making scheduling changes and increasing walk-in availability at its 115 driver license offices across the state. Beginning May 1st, appointments will only be available in the mornings until noon. After noon, all customer services statewide will be provided on a walk-in basis. Walk-in customers may still have the opportunity for morning hour services if there is time between scheduled appointments. Those wishing to book a morning appointment can visit skiptheline.ncdot.gov. NCDOT is hosting disadvantaged business enterprise meetings for all 14 highway divisions this Saturday, February 25th. In partnership with its Office of Civil Rights, these regional outreach events are for small, woman-owned or minority-owned businesses to seek opportunities to work with the department on various projects. To RSVP and find your DBE meeting location, visit ncdot.gov and search DBE. That's all for this week's NCDOT Now. You stay safe, North Carolina.
Hey Brave Nation, I'm Mihaela Trace. Welcome back to another week of Braves action. While softball had their games canceled this weekend, baseball hosted 4 games throughout the week, starting with their loss to Mercy College, 11-15 Tuesday. The team had the chance to redeem themselves in a 3-game matchup with Shepherd over the weekend. Friday's matchup saw the Braves slip by just 1 run, leaving the matchup with a 7-8 loss. Saturday's matchup saw the Braves fall once more, losing to the Rams 3-6 after Shepard's trio of late runs. Sunday, the Braves had their revenge and broke their 3-game losing streak, getting the last laugh against Shepherd, 12-7. After an early 6-0 advantage by the Rams, the Braves cashed in on 11 hits to secure the win. After the game, head coach Paul O'Neill talked about how it was good to see his guys back in winning form.
Absolutely. It was good to see some guys be aggressive at the plate and put some quality swings on it. It's been a while coming. We just talked to them about being aggressive today and, pinning their ears back a little bit and trying to, force the issues themselves. Rhett Burley did fantastic. I thought Jake did really good. I know Jake gave up a home run, but I thought both of those guys were, bright spots, for our day as far as the pitching goes. Well, I think it's great that we won a game today, but we've got an awful lot that we've got to clean up here with our ball club. Okay, we've got to do a lot of things if we want to be successful for the rest of the way.
UNCP hosted the NCAA Super Region Division II Wrestling Tournament Saturday, where the 3 Braves qualified for nationals. This qualification earns the Braves their 7th straight season representing wrestling on the national stage. Logan Robinson, Shilique Scriven, and Bryce Walker will compete on March 10th and 11th in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Saturday's all-day event in the Jones Center saw 6 of our wrestlers earn top 8 finishes. The Braves gathered 87 team points on their way to finishing 4th place overall out of 10 schools. Women's basketball took to home court Wednesday to finish off their regular season against Belmont Abbey. After a close 3 quarters of play, the Braves fell 55-51 behind a low-scoring 4th quarter without point guard Courtney Smith, who suffered a knee injury in the 3rd. The team finished the regular season with a 19-9 record and will enter the Conference Carolina Championships next weekend as the number 3 seed. Their next game is Friday in Spartanburg, South Carolina, in a quarterfinal against Mount Olive. A history-making regular season for men's basketball came to an end Wednesday night in the Jones Center when the Braves routed Belmont Abbey 87-51 and took the league title outright. The Braves finished with a 26-2 record overall, the most regular season wins in program history. As the Braves prepare for their March 4th conference tournament semifinals, head coach Drew Richards says that despite the break ahead of them, his guys will be ready for action.
I think we're motivated. I think those past years are motivated, but you can almost get complacent at times, especially with such a long break we have ahead of us. And we have 12 games for our 12 days before our first game, the conference tournament. That's a long time at this point in the year. But I think the motivation lies in trying to do stuff that's never been done before, and that would be finishing the top of the region in that last poll. And you can't do that without succeeding in the conference tournament. So I hope that extra little bit of motivation maybe we didn't have the year before and the year before, I'm hoping that would give us some additional focus and determination to continue to get better every single day.
Sophomore Nigel Verdier shared the honor of cutting down the net as his squad was named Conference Carolina regular season champions. He explained the team mood and what made them great this season despite the doubters.
I mean, honestly, it feels great, knowing that all the hard work paid off, all the early mornings, late nights, coming in the gym, getting conditioning, running, putting up shots. All of it worked out, but we're not done, so it's like we just got to keep it going. At the beginning of the season, I don't think a lot of people thought that we were going to be here. I mean, honestly, we didn't think ourselves that we were going to be here. Coming in, everybody, it was only 5 returners from last year. So really the whole team was new. So coming in, seeing all these new faces, knowing that I got to learn everybody's game before the season started, it was nerve-wracking. So we don't know if it was going to be that potential. A lot of people was asking me, you think y'all going to do the same thing from last year? And I'm just saying, I don't know. You just going to have to see. We're going to have to keep practicing, learn how we play with each other. But after we went 7-0 in non-conference, I knew we could be something special.
A cheerleading team in Council Bluffs, Iowa, faced even more doubters than the Braves, but they've earned the right to call themselves champions. It's a big deal for a good reason. CNN's Jonah Gilmore has their story.
It's not about what you hear, it's more so what you feel.
We feel everything. It's so important.
This beat helps the Iowa School for the Deaf cheerleaders move and groove. At the beat of the drum, they feel a vibration.
We practice and do our routine with the drum and the music, and we do it repetitively again and again.
The ISD cheerleaders made history.
It's just so exciting. I can't even explain it. I'm at a loss for words.
Competing and winning the Great Plains School for the Deaf Cheer Championship.
Really just proved that hard work is important and it makes a difference, and having passion.
Senior Brittany Adams says she always knew she could do anything, and even when she felt nervous, she went for it.
I gained a lot of confidence. I was really hesitant at first, and I felt like now cheerleading is part of who I am.
Getting to this point took a lot of hard work.
We ask a lot on the girls. It's a big commitment, but they gave everything they had to this year.
The team hopes they can serve as an inspiration.
Being deaf has a stigma. A lot of people are afraid of what that means.
Proud to shatter glass ceilings, proving just because they are deaf, they can still make their presence heard.
Once you commit and you give it your all, nothing can stop you. You can do anything.
A high school wrestler in Maine has made history by becoming the state's first girl to win a wrestling championship. Jim Keithley of WNCP-TV introduces us to 16-year-old Maddie Ripley.
And here she is on Saturday, all 106 pounds of her, getting down on the wrestling mat. A junior at Oceanside High School in Rockland. Maddie is the only girl on the wrestling team. Maddie has become the first girl in Maine to win an individual state title while wrestling a boy, and she did it all in 1 minute and 44 seconds as she pinned Nick Allen of Wells during Saturday's finals at the Class B Championships. How did she do it?
I put his arm over his head and then put him on his back like a chicken wing. It's like where you have an arm like this, and I just walked around the head.
How exhilarating that win must have been as she jumped in the arms of her coach to celebrate.
Felt really good. Didn't feel real. I was like just blown away.
Her coach, Jason Yates, just so happens to be her stepdad, too.
Felt amazing, you know, and it's more than just that moment. It's the years of hard work that went into that. It feels special anytime one of your athletes achieves something like that, but when it's your own kid, it feels 100 times better.
That anyone can do it if you put the work in. And, I mean, I started young. I didn't miss a practice. You just gotta dedicate yourself.
Cheering her on every step of the way, her twin brother, Gavin, who's also a wrestler, and her training partner. And, oh, Gavin won a state title, too, on Saturday in his weight class.
I think she's a little more competitive than me. I think that's one thing she has over me. She never likes to lose.
And let's not forget about Mom. She's the one behind the cell phone, capturing the moment on video for the world to see.
That's all we got time for this week. Good luck to all our athletes going into postseason competition.
Thanks, Mihaela. This is our last show before spring break. Thanks for watching. I'm Madison Schwinniker.
And I'm Andrew Thrift. Enjoy your break, and we'll see you when we come back.